Alright all, and welcome back to a new video and another weekend preview looking ahead at a brilliant card at Haydock with the Betfair Chase being the feature and obviously some racing from Ascot, and I'll cover a few races from both Naas and Navan this weekend as well. But first of all, we've got a few announcements, of course. Still the Movember page will be in the description below. You guys don't need me to rattle on about this, but the big one is that I will be teaming forces with Horse Racing Buddy. Now, some of you will probably know Horse Racing Buddy, some of you mightn't. It's a great community led by a guy called Kieran. He does a brilliant job, and pretty much it's a community that's overall a bit of fun, really. You know, it has a few tips from Kieran himself, who's got a brilliant record of being in profit the last 2.5 years from his advised stakes. And also, now they have a racing club of which there's around 100 members in, 5 horses they own, between 4 very good trainers, Brendan Murphy, John McConnell, Eddie Harty and Ross O'Sullivan. So 4 very reputable trainers here in Ireland, and they own 5 horses. They lease them on a year-to-year basis, and it also gives a chance for the person like myself, or maybe some of you guys, to get involved in race course ownership. Looking ahead into 2021, hopefully when restrictions are lifted, there will be monthly stable visits to all these stables to see their star horses, to see our horses, and hopefully getting back on track come 2021. Look, they're maybe not the world's greatest horses, but they will hopefully all have a win in them, and hopefully they'll give us some great days. So if you really want to get involved in that, the 5 horses are horses called True Commitment, True Dreamer, Spinnaker, Do This Like This, and Dromode Lad. So they're all different types of horses as well. A few of them will be running at Dundalk over the winter in kind of sprinting handicaps. Do This Like This is a 6-year-old unraced horse. They'll be starting off in a bumper very soon for John McConnell, and Dromode Lad has won over a mile 2 for Eddie Harty before this summer, and hopefully will be make up into a decent enough dual-purpose horse. So if you are interested in that, make sure to give me a message on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, or a comment down below, or get involved with Kieran. I'll put the link to his Twitter, the Horse Racing Buddy Twitter, and we can all guide you the right way. But it's really well set up, it's really affordable, and it's a great community to be involved in. I can't wait to be involved. I'm quite new into it, and I'm already feeling the love about it, and I can't wait to be cheering home some of horses that I have now got an interest in. So that's going to be absolutely superb, and it'll maybe give us a bit more to look forward to come Dundalk days during the winter. But anyway, that's the plugs for today gone. We're going in now to the weekend racing, and we're starting off at Haydock with the 150, the Graduation Chase over 2.5. Absolute disaster. Windsor Avenue, I thought he was an absolute cert, at least to run in the race. Hasn't been declared, which is a real shame, because he was my big fancy for the race. Racing Central podcast will be going up soon, I suspect today or later today, which was recorded last night, of which I made a strong case for Windsor Avenue, but not to be. Instead, I'm going to give a chance here to Commanche Red for Chris Gordon. He didn't run much of a race at Ascot in the big 3-mile handicap chase, but Chris Gordon's have seemingly needed the run this year, and this horse had some decent enough form last year, beating Simply the Bets on Stephen's Day at Kempton by 10 lengths, being the best of that. Paddy Brennan takes the ride, which is always a good thing. Paddy Brennan's riding out of his skin at the moment, and I just think this horse maybe has a chance, and maybe might be at some sort of a price. Master Tommy Tucker is a very good horse. He probably has the beating of these if he has a going day, but his jumping is so sporadic that you couldn't really be taking such a short price about him. And I think there may be juice to this horse's price. I know he was 6-1 before declarations. I'm not sure what he'll be declared at now, because Itchy Feet and Windsor Avenue have come out. An awful lot of these races are in that kind of awkward stage where the prices haven't come back up yet, because it is Thursday afternoon here. Or sorry, Thursday morning. It's just gone 12 o'clock. But Commanche read my selection for the graduation chase. Hopefully he can run well for Chris Gorton's second time out this year. The Stayers Handicap hurdle looks a bit of a minefield, to be honest. I'm going to take a chance here on Ask Dillon for Fergal O'Brien and Conor Brace. Maybe a little bit ballsy taking on the jam man Maxine O'Sullivan coming over to ride, which is a real interesting booking. I think that's what I saw anyway on the BHA website this morning. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But Ask Dillon, I think, has a chance in this. He fell on his chase debut at Cheltenham at the October meeting in the race won by Galvin. Didn't seem to be loving fences whatsoever and has been reverted back to hurdles. He placed in two very similar races to this last year at Chepstow and Sandown off similar marks. Conor Brace takes off a useful 3. He's 16 to 1. I think that's a very fair each-way price. The big race of the whole weekend is the Betfair Chase. 5 runners and 5 good runners at that. Really hope to see Bells Hill maybe show still a bit of his old spark. I think he's very vulnerable, obviously, in a race like this. The price would indicate that. But he was a horse I did like for Willie Mullins back in the day. He had some great days. Remember winning the Irish Gold Cup with him. Back in 2018, I believe it was. No, 2019, sorry, it was. When he beat Road to Respect in a photo finish. Brilliant ride from Ruby Walsh. Hopefully he can go well on stable debut for Sandy Thompson. Look, I think Lost in Translation, I think, is the best horse of these. I can't get away from that. But his record fresh would temper my enthusiasm slightly. He's only 1 from 3 when fresh, and you know, starting out his new season, and that one was winning the Colin Parker only by 2 lengths to Count Maribel. Now, he had a lot in hand that day, let's be frank, but Count Maribel is an exposed handicapper at the best of times, so I just wouldn't be so sure, you know. I think people are forgetting that he won this race last year off the back of the Colin Parker win at Carlisle, and Bristol de May came there fresh. So I think there's enough juice in Bristol de May's price to take him on, to be honest. I think he's 2 to 1. I think it's a fair price. Clandes Oboe, if you knew he was going to run to his best, he's got a massive chance, but I'm really not sure in whether he'll be completely wound up for a race like this, and hopefully anyway he can. I hope he can run well. He's a horse I do quite like, but you do have to wonder whether this is just a King George prep. So Bristol de May at his home ground at Haydock. I know he's not getting any younger. I know he's probably not getting any better, but it's the only Grade 1 of the year he can feasibly win. So it wouldn't surprise me if he is well straight to go and do himself justice. Moving over to Ascot, the racing at Ascot has really cut up very badly. Starting off with the Ascot Chase, it only had 4 entries going into the decks this morning and has come out with 4 entries, thank God. And my nap of the weekend comes in this race in Imperial Aura. He's 5 to 4. I think he should be odds on. I think he's a cracking horse. I think he beats Real Steel here. Real Steel is a good horse, but I think again he'll be being primed for a King George bid, and also he can be a bit of a moody character at times, Real Steel. He can sometimes throw his toys out of the pram, especially on soft to heavy ground, which you might get at Ascot on the weekend. So I wouldn't be sure about him. The other 2 he really should beat. Itchy Feet's a good horse, but he jumps like a fridge. And Black Courtin, really his day should be past him at this stage, hopefully anyway, for Imperial Aura backers. He's a brilliant jumper. David Bass gets on really well with this horse, and I'm hoping he does the business. The Ascot Hurdle, I'm not going to have a bet. Only 3 runners. Lorena absolutely broke my heart last year, as most of you guys will know. A Song for Someone I can't really get behind. I don't think he's a brilliant horse, and Call Me Lord's not a brilliant horse either. Not seeing Goshen in the race is a shame. Disappointing. Don't know what the story is there with Goshen, so it would be interesting to see. I wasn't going to put up anything else at Ascot, but then I saw a handicap chase over 2 miles, the big handicap chase. It's the race after the Ascot Hurdle, I believe, and seeing a Irish raider that I'm very interested in. It's Henry de Brumhead's Abbey Magic. Bryony Frost gets the ride, and I don't think this is a bad one for Bryony Frost, because she'll be able to go off fairly decently out in front, I suspect, on this horse. She'll certainly be handy on it. This Abbey Magic jumps for fun. She's a really likeable mare. She came off the back of a 2-year absence to just get pipped at Kilbeggan, I think, on decent ground before winning last time out by 3.5 lengths. She's taken another hike in the weights, but she's actually quite lightly raced for a horse of her age, and it wouldn't surprise me if she has a big pot in her. I also can't quite understand why Henry de Brumhead would be sending her over just for the good of her health. Again, it's a race I'm not sure about prices, but I'm hoping we might get some sort of price on her. And hopefully she can run well. If she's above kind of 6 to 1, it would be each way. Below that, probably I'd just be backing her on the nose. Moving over to Naas, some good racing at Naas on Saturday. Starting off with the Poplar Square Chase 2-mile race for the Arkle also runs. Only 4 declared in this race. Fakir Duderies, Notebook, Jingle and Cashback. It's a very good race, to be fair. It'll be very interesting to see how these horses scale in times to come. I think based off the his run at Naas last year and also the weight he's receiving, I think Cashback is a really good bet in this. Again, it's another race I'm not sure about the prices. I would say though you'd be able to get some sort of price on him because people will want to back Fakir Duderie or Notebook ahead of him. So I'm hoping we might get some price. But I was at Naas when he beat 0-10 last year, and it was definitely his most impressive run of last year. He jumped for fun. He's quite hard to catch when he gets going out in front, and I think he's got obviously form very closely franked with Notebook from the Irish Arkle, and he's receiving £8 off Notebook because of the conditions of the race, with both Fakir Duderie and Notebook winning Grade 1s last year. So I just think with the weight concession, he should be a decent proposition in this race. And I think he's a horse that maybe goes under the radar as one that could scale up into still being a pretty good 2-mile chaser this year. The Fishery Lane Hurdle is a 4-year-old race. 7 have been declared. It'd be interesting to see what type of price I can get about Wolf Prince for Gavin Cromwell. He ran no type of race in the Handicap Hurdle at Down Royal, where I thought he'd run well, but it just wasn't to be. Maybe he needs a bit softer ground than what he encountered there. I just think he could go well in this race. He was a decent juvenile last year. He was second at the Dublin Racing Festival behind A Wave of the Sea. He was previously second to Aspire Tower at Christmas there as well. So I'd like to hope there's a decent pot in this race. Gavin Cromwell obviously won this race with the ill-fated Espoir Dillon a few years ago. So I'm hoping there might be something to him. I'm hoping there might be a decent price about him as well. There's a few in this. There's a Willie Mullins recruit, very well regarded. Obviously, I think Call Me Lyrene is in this race as well for Gordon Elliott, who'll be short enough. So I think we're hopefully going to get an each way price about him. And even though it's only 7 runners, I might be backing each way. And also one race that you mightn't have had a massive look through again, and not one that we've had prices with, but I'm really, really intrigued with this Beginner's Chase. It's a fascinating race on paper, and I'm really intrigued to see the run of Cedarwood Road, a horse I put up as one of my horses to follow for the season in my 15 horses to follow video. I think this could be a really, really good novice chaser for Gearóid O'Loughlin. He was well handled last year as a novice hurdler when he was clearly not going to be a brilliant hurdler. Like, he's always going to be a good chaser, and the fact that he was able to win a Grade 2, a listed race with them when he beat Beacon Edge around Naas just before Cheltenham, and obviously won a maiden hurdle at Leopardstown on Stephen's Day by half the track, seemingly. So I think he could scale up into a good horse, and if there's some sort of price about him, I'd be backing Cedarwood Road and hopefully can do the business, but it is a very hot heat for the time of year. And just the one race from Navan to conclude this video, the Monksfield Novices Hurdle. Again, this is, because it's on Sunday, we aren't sure about declarations, and there's 3 or 4 Gigginstown horses in this race, so I'm not sure which 1 or 2 maybe will run. But I'd really hope to see Lieutenant Command run in this race for no meat. He's a horse I like an awful lot. He won a Limerick bumper at Christmas last year before finishing 3rd behind Appreciated at the Dublin Racing Festival. He won on his hurdle debut at Galway, beating a decent horse of Gordon Elliott's called Coccolino, who's unfortunately fallen since when probably booked for minor money again. But I think they're hoping that Coccolino was meant to be quite a good horse, and he beat him quite nicely at Galway. He stuck to the task really well, and I think this could be a really nice horse. He's a big grey horse, and could be another one of these no-meat horses that's maybe slipping under the radar. No-meat and Sean Flanagan obviously have been in red-hot form to start the National Hunt season as well. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel down below if you have enjoyed it. And of course, let me know your selections for the weekend. Maybe I'm just overthinking it with the Betfair Chase, maybe lost in translation, just wins, and you guys may let me know down below. And of course, if you're interested in the race course and racehorse ownership, as I mentioned right at the start of the video, do make sure to check out Kieran with the links below, or obviously get in touch with me or with him if you are interested in that going forward. Should be some good fun. 5 horses to get involved with, you know, so it's really good, you know, combination of flat horses, national hunt horses, dual purpose horses, nothing better than that. And hopefully, when I see you next time, which probably will be next weekend, for another weekend preview of the Fighting Fifth, hope you stay safe, stay well, land a few bets, and I'll see you guys then. Cheers.